Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, 24/7 shopping available. 160920 is the code. Show her some love, like she showed us. K&A Custom Crafts on Facebook.
Hello and welcome to almost one of our final episodes of On Deck. So season's wrapping up. It's Tuesday night. On Deck, brought to you by Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. Tonight, I am Big B, the host, and I'm joined by my man Chris P. Bacon. How you doing, bud?
Doing good. Glad to be back. And yeah, I think this is the last week of the regular season.
This for sure is last week. I think Sunday it all wraps up. Monday might be a day to do 163 if we have any makeups if needed. But yeah, Dirk is not with us tonight. He's got some family obligations. So Dirk, if you're listening, chime in, but enjoy your family time. So, and we might be joined by other hosts. We sent out invites to them, so who knows who we might get on the show today. But so Chris, end of the season. Give us a full recap of your Texas Rangers. I mean, I know there's about 6 games left, but our teams are out. So, recap what's on about your Texas Rangers year.
I mean, we started out strong at the beginning, and then I don't know. I think it was after the All-Star break when we just kind of fell off the wagon, so to speak, and just had trouble. Problems after games and couldn't capitalize on winning games. So that kind of led us to being out of the playoffs.
Yeah, typically when I know baseball's a long season, but you have hiccups like that. You start off hot, you're going to end up typically cold. There's not many teams outside of the Giants this year that typically can be hot throughout the whole season or stay consistent. So, but for me, the Twins tanked. Probably one of the disappointing teams of the year. In my eyes, injuries got them, just bad plays, stuff like that. We made some moves. Hopefully, it pans out for us in the long run. But right now, not looking good for this year. Maybe next year. Baseball's one of those teams where you might be bad this year, but next year you might be halfway decent. So we'll see what next year brings.
Yeah.
Both of our teams, and I know Sarge's Seattle Mariners, are fighting for that playoff spot. So, go Sarge and the Mariners, kind of bring it home. I know it's a long shot, but hey,
they're in the hunt. They're in the hunt with the Oakland A's. So I mean,
yeah. So funnier things have happened in baseball. So
yeah.
So outside of our teams, Chris, anything kind of stood out to you this year?
Yeah, I would have to say the Giants, being really good this year, San Francisco Giants. I mean, they're kind of projected to be maybe not the worst team, but one of the worst teams in baseball. And, early on in the season, they just kind of surprised everyone, and, more power to them. I mean, I hope they go far.
Yeah, definitely the Giants are a surprise team. I don't think there's another surprise out there team-wise. I mean, we figured the White Sox were going to be good. The Rays kind of surprised me. I didn't think after they get rid of their ace, I didn't think they'd be up there, but they're up there. White Sox, with the old school coach there, they played excellent. Player-wise, I think Ohtani kind of shocked me being able to pitch and hit like he did. I didn't see that coming, at least the hitting wise. So yeah, a lot of things happened.
He was basically like a utility player for him. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
He could do it all. He could be on the bases. He could pitch. He could catch. Whatever you need him to do, he could do it.
Yeah, exactly. It was one of those. They took him off the mound, put him in the right field, or else they had him DH. But Major League had technically 9 no-hitters this year, which was a record. We, as Coast to Coast, are counting the 2 7-inning no-hitters. So in our
Right.
eyes, it was 10 or 11. So, because to me, hey, the game ended, no hits. I don't know why MLB won't count it as a no-hitter, but
I
to
mean,
us,
other sports count stats. I mean, they're not the same, but they count their stats in overtime.
well, exactly. I mean, if football ended, I think football has to go 3.5 quarters. And if there's weather and it gets called, it's a full game.
I
I don't
can
know
see
what
that.
I don't know what baseball's thinking. For me, it's a no hitter. I don't- viewers, maybe you guys
What
tell
do you
me.
guys think? Yeah.
Should we at Coast to Coast count, or should Major League, as a matter of fact, count the 2 7-inning no hitters as no hitters in the record books? I'd like to hear what you guys said. I know we kind of probably talked about it quite a bit. So
Yeah.
with that also being said, before we get to our season, end of the season rewards, I saw a story that Tampa Bay or Major League Baseball is thinking about, and it sounds like it's in full effect because I read a story today that Tampa Bay is now going to put the Montreal Expos logo in their home field. So it sounds like next year we might get some games in Montreal between the Tampa Bay Rays / Expos. Sounds like they want to kind of combine the two teams. Chris, what do you think of that? What do you think about having one team playing two different home ballparks, especially that far apart?
I wouldn't mind it. We talked about, I think, on the Four Bros last night,
Yeah.
where if you're like a Minnesota team, Seattle team, somewhere close to that, U.S. Canada border, it'd work out. But when you have a Florida team, that's way down south, and you're asking them, I don't know what is it, 90 home games? I can't remember. Split that
Yeah,
up.
it's 81 home games.
Okay,
So
so
one season
41.
you'll get 40 plus games. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah. So, but you're splitting it no matter what, and
yeah,
I think that would leave fans confused. It's because if you're trying to get new fans' attention, and you ask, well, where they play their home games. Well, you see, it's kind of complicated because they play half in Tampa
yeah,
Bay, half
yeah,
in Montreal, or wherever they're going to play in Canada.
yeah. It's gonna be
That just leaves
Montreal.
confusion.
So
Yeah, but either way, it leaves confusion, and
yeah.
I don't know if you want to do that for newer fans coming into the sport.
Well, and the thing is if you're gonna draw fans, why not take a team? Let's just take Pittsburgh. Bottom feeder team. If you want to see if they draw better in a different location, then yeah. But you got Tampa Bay that, okay, yeah. Unless they're winning, they're not drawing fans. And actually, I don't think they drew many fans this year for some reason. But you
They
don't take
don't
a team that,
normally. I don't.
yeah, you don't take a team that's at the top of the league and say, hey, we're going to see if you draw better somewhere else. You take a team that's at the bottom. Take the Twins. Have the Twins play Montreal. I don't care. I mean, I don't think it's right. I mean, Packers in football did it. I think from the 80s through the 90s, most of the 90s, where they would play 1 or 2 games a year in Milwaukee.
And Buffalo Bills done it. They played games in Canada. I think
Yep,
Toronto.
yep, yep. Because there was talks
So
about them moving and wanting to expand in Canada, and you know, I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see it being a success. But again, Montreal. I mean, the Expos when they were there was a pretty decent team. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Christy
I don't know why.
Wilson.
I don't know why they don't take Toronto and just kind of move them over. Yeah, Chrissy Wilson doesn't
Yeah,
like it.
yeah.
You
I'm
know,
not fond of it. I wouldn't mind it as like an exhibition game,
yeah,
just because,
they
just to
did
try it
that.
out.
They did that with the here in Minnesota with the hockey. They'd play like a few games here and there here before we got the Wild back. They play some games here just to kind of get attention, and see how it drew.
But
But
that's kind of in my thought counterintuitive almost because you already have Canada
yeah,
doing hockey. So
Yeah. Well, I just
I
don't
don't know.
understand why they don't put Toronto over Montreal. Let them battle back and forth. But
Yeah,
it is what it is. Not Grudell. Who's the Matford or whatever.
yeah. Who doesn't seem like he's
He
interested in
he seems
baseball.
like he's got a little screws loose up on top there. So
Yeah.
but talking about that, rule changes, do you think they'll keep the extra runner and extra innings, or do you think they'll change out with the bargaining agreement coming up?
I think they want to eliminate that. I would hope so.
Hmm.
But again, we're not sure what they're thinking exactly.
Yeah, it kind after seeing it a couple times live, I think it kind of grew on me a little bit, but I still think it needs to be later in the game, not uh, right after the nine
Oh,
innings. I don't think it should be like maybe 12th, 13th inning in. So, uh,
and what you could do is if you had experiments on it a couple years,
oh yeah,
you could also ask minor league fans
yep.
what their thoughts on it because it was originally used in minor league, and I think it still
Oh
is.
yeah, they do a lot of testing down there. They got the shot clock or the pitch count clock, whatever they want to call it.
The
Uh,
robot umpires and all that.
yeah. So I got a few more comments here. Justin, how you doing? Yankees are losing. That's a good thing.
That is a good
Let's go
thing.
Blue Jays. Please make the wild card. Yes, I'm
Toronto,
all
I
for the
think, are
Blue
in.
Jays. That's probably the first comment I've agreed with Justin in a long time. Go Blue Jays. So, yep,
I like the Blue Jays. I don't know.
yeah. My Twins are out. I'm going Blue Jays. So, how about the universal DH rule? I know that's been a hot topic. Where the NL will make it official probably this upcoming year that they'll do the universal DH. What do you think? Do you like the pitchers hitting? Do you like the DH rule? Does it matter to you what happens? I
I don't.
mean,
I don't think it matters. I mean, yeah, you want to keep. A lot of players say the integrity of the game. The
mhm,
way it's been. I mean, but I think it gives both leagues a fair shot. The one league has it and the other one doesn't, and
yeah,
I understand their historical values, but
yep,
I think it gives both sides a fair shot now.
yeah. No, I I'm an old school guy. I'd rather see the NL not have it, but if they add
Right.
it, it gives guys like Cruz, Pujols, some of those guys extra few years, to keep doing the sport they love. So in that case, go for it. So Justin, I'll get to that comment later in a little bit here. We're just kind of starting off things, but yes, we'll definitely get to that Ohtani comment because I do want to talk about it. So
Hmm.
in other news, I saw that a longtime umpire, everybody's unfavored umpire, Joe West, is calling it a career after this upcoming year. So I think a lot of fans will be happy. He's made some horrible calls in some crucial moments of games.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know what your thoughts are on
I,
the umps, but good for him. I mean, he got to do what he loved, I guess. So
yeah. I
it'll be,
mean, we all have those. No matter what sport, those officials where you hear their name come up in a lineup or in a
uh
game, it's like, oh man, we're getting that ref or that officiating crew. Uh, and yeah, he was doing what he liked most is
yeah,
umpiring games, and for fans that do like his play, calling of games is gonna be upset, but then there's ones that it seems like, oh man, he botched that game or whatever. They're gonna be like, good, he needs to go.
yeah. No doubt about that. Yeah, every time, I guess, like you said, anytime you hear that name of a certain umpire or ref, you're like, oh, really? That's who we got tonight? Well, this is going to be, you know, unfortunate.
Ju-
So, I was just
Justin's
looking up. Justin said that Joe West ruined the game.
Yeah.
I thought it was a different umpire, but
It
I'm just
could have
looking
been.
here quick. I thought it was somebody else. It was Jim Joyce. That's who that was. That's
Okay.
who it was. It wasn't West. What West probably was on that crew. It wouldn't surprise me. So he also said Kurt Schilling did not like Joe West. Yeah, there's a lot of
Yeah.
players, even fans. I mean, fans didn't care for him either. Um, in other news, I saw that Dodgers Hall of Fame broadcaster Jaron is going to retire after the 2022 season, so he's announcing it a little bit early. Um,
Maybe it's good to
he's the
announce.
Spanish language announcer. So okay,
Uh,
so and in a 64-year run, I mean, Chris, you're a
wow.
young guy. I mean, could you see doing something for 64 plus years in your life? I mean, you
If
just
I could
turned
do
20.
that,
You just turned 28, so 64 years. You're looking at what 90? No, I'm sorry, 64. Yeah, you're looking at almost 90. You're going to retire at 90 some years old. What do you think? I mean,
I wouldn't. I wouldn't mind doing it that long if my body could do that.
yeah.
I don't know if it could, but if I could get at least 60, 70 years, I'd be okay.
I mean yeah, exactly. To wake up and know you have a job for that long. I mean, good for him.
And
Not a
you
lot of
you
people. I mean,
basically go to a game for free.
yeah,
Call a game, but you're basically going
exactly.
free.
You're doing what you love. I mean, I've been at my job just over 3 years, and thinking of somebody that had spent 64 years and only work. Well, maybe he had a winter job, but you only had to work what 4 or 5 months out of the year. I mean, hey, can't pass that up. And you only, he probably went on the road with them because he was a Spanish guy. So, but if
But
you're the
that's kind
home,
of cool too, though.
yeah, yeah. So no doubt for that. So let's check out some scores here. Tigers and Twins, bottom of four, 1-0 Twins. Just like them to turn it on at the end of the year to make me want to watch baseball again. The Nationals and Rockies just started, so they're 0-0. You got the Cubs and Pirates, 6-7 Pirates, bottom of six. Boston and the Orioles. Boston trying to get back in the playoff hunt. I think they're tied with the Yankees, up 2-0. You got the Yankees and Blue Jays. Blue Jays up 2-1, top of five. Marlins and the Mets in a game two doubleheader. Marlins are up 1-0. Phillies and Braves. My guy Will Smith's Braves. They're up 2-0, top of six. So if they keep it close, we might get a Will Smith sighting. End of three, you got the Brewers and Cardinals tied at 0. Angels and the Rangers, bottom of two. Angels are up 2-0.
Oh, come on. Not surprised.
Red Sox, Reds and the White Sox, bottom 2-0. White Sox, Indians Royals 3-2, top of second. Rangers up 2-0 on the Astros. The only final was the game one of the Mets Marlins. Mets took the Marlins 5-2. And then tonight, after we get off the air, we got the Diamondbacks, Giants, Padres, Dodgers, and the Athletics and the Mariners. So some good games there. So looking at the comments here, Chrissy Wilson, if Vince Scully could do it, you can do it too, Chris. Yeah, she's talking about Vince Scully being there.
Yeah.
Hey, he
The
was there for a
Dodgers
long time too.
play-by-play guy.
Yeah, he was a play-by-play for the Dodgers. So,
Yeah.
Baltimore game is tied. Thank you, Justin. And then Justin said Ryan homered for the Baltimore. Okay, so yeah, we're just going by what ESPN has right now, up to date. So let's talk about it. Pretty much every race is a conclusion.
Yeah.
Astros are up on Seattle by 4.5 games with 6 left. So they win. Seattle loses. That should be a clincher. So that's it for the American League besides the wild card spot, the second wild card spot. Actually, both wild card spots are technically still up. Yankees had the top seed wild card spot, +1 over the Boston. Toronto's back with 1 Seattle's 1.5 back. Seattle or Oakland's got a little work to do with 11.5 back with 6 left. So I'm almost counting Oakland out. I think Seattle could. I think Seattle's probably the only team that could probably get in there with Toronto. So it'd be nice to see Toronto and Seattle both get in and knock out Yankees and Boston. What do you think there, Chris?
Yeah, that'd be good if they could. I mean, it'd be helpful.
It'd be a different change because I know a lot of Yankee and Boston haters love to see both those teams out of there. So, yeah, Justin, I'm with you. I could see Seattle sneaking in. I really hope so. So,
Tim
Frank,
would like that too.
Yeah. Our
Sarge
own
would.
Sarge would definitely love that. And he called it at the beginning of the year. So, Seattle gets in. Listen, you're going to hear a lot of bragging from Sarge. So, Frank chimes in. Mets, baby. Yeah, the Mets kind of choked at their end a little bit. Dirk would agree with that, though. So if he was on here, we talk about a little bit about the Mets and what they need to do. So in the NL is the team or the division that's got the races, I think, still. So Atlanta, Philly in the East there. Philly's 2.5 back, and I know they started a series tonight or tomorrow. I think it is for a 3-gamer. I think it's tonight, but I don't remember reading the scores. Let me just look again. Oh no, I did. Phillies and Braves. Duh. Will Smith. So Braves are up 2. So 2 out of 3,
Will
and
Smith is an actor.
Yeah, Will Smith as actor is a way better, no doubt about that. But if the Braves win 2, that pretty much locks up the East for them. Milwaukee's already locked up the Central, and the Giants and Dodgers. Dodgers are 2 back right now of the Giants, and if both teams win out, you're going to have a wild card team with 106 wins. So,
That'd be crazy.
and then it's only a one game playoff. So, Justin's chiming in. Giants will win that division easy. That's gonna be tough, bud. I don't see it. I'm rooting for a game 163 between that one. So what about you, Chris? You're on mute.
Sorry. No, that'd be good. I think the Giants will get in.
Oh, I think the Giants will win the division, but hey, I'll take a game 163 any day of the year. So that gives me one more game of baseball. So Frank chimes in. I don't care who wins. My teams are the Mets. Hey, no props to you. Hey, if your team's the Mets or whatever, I mean, definitely back your team no matter how it is. So,
yeah.
Can there be a one? Yeah, there could be a game 163 for the wild card spot. I guess if the top two, if the top 2 teams are tied, I don't know if they would do a 163, but if team 2 and 3 are tied, they probably would do a 163. I'm not sure about that. So I guess we'll wait and see, Justin. Chrissy chimes in. I wish the Padres had more in the playoffs. Yeah. I think a lot of people are upset that the Padres didn't make that run like they were supposed to. They have a young team. What do you think, Chris? A little disappointed in the Padres, or
a little bit, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I think they're one of the teams that had, was projected to have a good year too. So
Yep. But yeah, they got a definitely young team. So they'll be around. I'm not doubting them. I'm not counting them out. So let's go back to the Mets to start the game. All right, go Mets. So yeah, we'll
Go
see.
Mets.
Well, yeah, keep us updated, Frank, on the Mets score. So,
he's saying 1-1. It's tied.
yeah, 1-1 is tied. Yep. All right, so let's go to this Ohtani controversy. He came out a couple days ago, said he wanted to win. He loves the fans. He loves the team. So everybody's taking it that he wants out. Madden, the coach of the Rangers or manager, he's stating that Ohtani does. His comments doesn't mean he wants to leave the team. He just you know, he wants to play. You know, he wants to win. So, Chris, what do you think? Does Ohtani want to leave, or do you think he just wants to play better? Or
I mean, his team's in a division hunt, aren't they? Or aren't they eliminated?
yeah, okay,
I mean, I feel like he wants to win, and like Justin saying, I guess he wants to play for the Yankees. I haven't heard that. Uh,
yeah, I
I'm sure
haven't
it's
seen that, Justin.
possible.
If you got an article or saw that somewhere, point us to it. We'll go read it. But yeah, I haven't heard that he wants to play for the Yankees. But of course, you know,
But
when it comes to free agent, everybody wants to go to the Yankees supposedly. So, uh,
yeah, I mean,
I tell you
if
what
you're a
though, if
top
Otani
team,
goes to the Yankees, that would be a dangerous matchup. So
I think it would, but I don't know if they'll use him as much as they have in L.A.
no, they won't.
So I don't
He
think
would
he's
have
gonna
he
be.
would have to go to a team that wants to keep him as a dual threat. You know, so
Yeah,
so yeah. So I mean, right now the Angels probably have two of the top 10 baseball players in the league or in Major League Baseball, and Trout and Ohtani. I hope they build around them. So Justin chimed in. Mike Trout needs to leave the team. Yeah, you could say that, or I mean,
why does he need
Anaheim,
to leave the team? I don't know why
because
he
they're not
would.
winning.
Uh,
Everybody's has a consensus that Mike Trout's the face of baseball, and he needs to be on a different team. I don't know. I mean, the guy's put up
I
tremendous stats when he's healthy.
in any
Uh,
sport, I don't see a true face of like MLB, NFL. It's a team sport.
yeah, yeah. No, it's tough. I mean, yeah, you can do it by who they market and stuff, and right now
If you're,
MLB's kind of marketing a little bit of everybody. So,
yeah,
but with that being said, as a fan of baseball, I kind of hope Otani and Trout stay together and they can build around them and make it a winning team. But also, if they leave, honestly, I hope the Yankees don't get them because they seem to get everybody. But we'll see. I mean, we'll see where they go and what baseball brings. I mean, going to be a
yeah.
lot of movement. So, all right. So let's move on to our awards. Um, so, Chris, who is? Let's start with the coach of the year. Who are your coaches of the year for the AL and the NL? You could just say the team because
Yeah,
not
I'd
a
have
lot
to.
of us know who the coaches are. So
Right, I'd have to go with the Giants
in the
coach.
NL, yeah,
Yeah, and then I'm not quite sure about the other one.
yeah,
The AL.
yeah. I honestly, for me, if it's not the White Sox and if it's not the Giants coach of the year, I can see Tampa Bay being the
Yeah,
coach, their coach being coach of the year. But to me, I think it's the White Sox Giants. I think so.
right.
AL MVP. Who do you have as your AL MVP?
I'd have to go with with Shohei Ohtani for the Angels. I mean,
Okay.
he's probably the front runner for it. I don't really think no one's chasing after him for that award, so you can kind of clinch it for him.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of vote for Vladimir Guerrero. He's in the hunt for the Triple Crown, which if people don't know, it's the batting title, home run, and RBI champion.
Hmm.
You get all three of those, you get Triple Crown. Uh, for me, it's tough because I can see them both winning. Otani, Vladimir Guerrero. I'm gonna go that they're gonna have co MVPs. I think we're going to see Guerrero Jr. and Otani both get it because they're both doing stuff that would, Triple Crown's a hard one, and then you got Otani playing both pitcher and hitting. So I vote that we have a dual MVP. So
Has it ever happened before?
I would have to look. I know not off the top of my head, I don't think we've had a dual MVP. I know we've had the same player win MVP and Cy Young. So,
Right.
but so speaking of Cy Young, American League Cy Young winner. Who do you think can take that? Oh, and by the way, Dirk sent me his list. He has Glad winning the MVP for the American League. So
I can see that.
yeah, and for
You're
his
saying
AL Cy Young, Liam Hendricks of the White Sox. So,
okay.
and with his
Uh,
statement on that, he said the White Sox are nowhere without him. I totally agree with that.
Right.
Looking at the stats, I believe it's going to be Derek Cole of the Yankees.
Garrett Cole. That's who I'm thinking too.
Yeah.
Either that or Lance Lynn. I mean,
Yeah, Lance Lynn of the White Sox did pretty good too. So
it's amazing how two former Rangers who's not on the team are on one team, a new team,
yeah,
and they're leading the league in AL Cy Young. That's kind of crazy.
yeah. Ain't that always this case where you see them go somewhere else and it's like, oh, they did that here, but they couldn't do it here. Well, what's up, you know? So
Or you're like, oh, they didn't play all that well when they're here. They go
yeah,
somewhere else and they're like, man, they're playing really well. Why didn't they show that here?
yeah, exactly. No, you're exactly right. So all right, moving into the NL, NL MVP. Dirk has Buster Posey for the Giants. I know a lot of people are saying Bryce Harper. I think Tatis Jr.'s name's kind of popped up a little bit.
That's
Oh,
who I'm thinking.
oh, you're taking
Tatis Jr.
Tatis Jr. Okay, that's I'm not gonna say a stretch there. I know a lot of people are saying Turner from the Dodgers, who got traded, has been hot. I'm gonna throw a curveball out there. Not too much of a curveball, but Juan Soto of Washington. I'll take him as my MVP. But
Okay.
again, anybody we name could have a definitely face a baseball or MVP race. So let's move into the NL Cy Young winner. Dirk has, and I think a lot of people agree, Julio. It's not Julio Glado. I believe he's talking about the pitcher from the Dodgers with the, and I'm going to butcher his name. Urias, Urias. He's 19-3. Dirk said, "Enough said." I agree. I mean, you win 19 games, you should be the Cy Young. I think it could come down to any of those Dodgers starters that they have. I mean, they've all put up great numbers. Um, Scherzer, since he's been there, has been great. But I'm gonna cop out. I'm gonna say it's gonna be a Dodgers starter that gets the Cy Young. What about you, Chris?
I think it's a Dodger starter. I'm
Uh,
going with Bueller, Walter Bueller.
yeah, yeah, oh yeah, Bueller. Yeah, but I mean, if you look at it, the Dodgers are plus what 230 some runs.
I would
So
think so. Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, they to me it should be no doubt that the Dodgers going to win that award if it wasn't for DeGrom going down with his injury. To me, DeGrom
Right.
still has. So Dirk actually threw out another category. The team that tanked this year, or the biggest tank disappointment. He's putting his Mets as a big disappointment. Chris, what about you? Who is your biggest MLB disappointment team?
I think we talked about it before. I mean, you could go with the Diamondbacks, but I don't.
Sorry, guys,
I,
my
yeah, mine
fingers
too.
are doing some walking.
Um,
So
I would think it was either between Minnesota and Arizona. I'm
yeah,
thinking Minnesota is probably.
I will definitely agree with that. But Minnesota, yes. If I had to take a team that wasn't my team, it would have to be between
Yeah.
the Mets and the Padres. I mean, both teams are expected to do good, and they both are tanking really bad. So, but I do agree. I think the Twins had probably the biggest disappointment. A lot of people had them picked in the playoffs. A few of
Yeah.
them had them in a World Series title run, possible Coach of the Year, possible MVP candidate in Jose Barrios or Maeda, MVP candidate in Cruz. They thought they had it all, and I just to me, if it's not the Twins being a disappointment, I'm taking the Brewers or uh, not the Brewers. I'm sorry, Padres or the Mets as my disappointment team. All right, so Chris,
Yeah.
anything else you've seen? So actually, there's been a lot of talk about the umps making bad calls lately, and some of them will cost them a game. There was a game, and I posted it in our chat. It was the Cubs, and I believe it was the Cardinals. And what happened is the Cub batter, I forgot the name, hits a pop fly. It looks like it's going foul. It ends up being fair. The third baseman kind of stumbles. So the pitcher, I think it was the third baseman got up. There was runners on first and second. Let's paint the whole picture here. The runners on first and second, pop fly, going foul, ends up being fair. Third baseman for the Cardinals falls, picks up the ball. They throw it to third for one out. And then they throw it to second for a double play, thinking the inning is over. But the umps converse. The third base ump called for an infield fly rule, which then makes the ball dead, but the runners can advance if they wanted to, which means that you have to tag them. So the second base umpire, I think, is the one that kind of made the call correct, put the players back on their bases, and which brought out the Cardinals coach, who started arguing, that's not what the call was and stuff like that. So, Chris, how can I phrase this? The ump's trying to make it right, with the way it should have been called. Instead of a double play, he puts the runners back on base because the third base ump that we did not see called the infield fly rule. So, did the Cardinals have a gripe, or should the Cardinals kind of just been quiet and let the umps make the right call finally? I mean, what do you think?
I think you should have just been quiet about it. I mean, they're doing the best they can.
Yeah.
Even I've been guilty of, going, no, that's the wrong call, and then looking back at it, going, okay, maybe it was, But we all have our own views of looking at the game. So
yeah, exactly. I mean, I give the umps credit that they're kind of, they tried to make the right call in that. But again, I get the gripe on the coach's part. Well, this is what happened. I got to side with the umps on this one. You tossed the coach. You tried to make the right call. You made the right call and called an infield fly rule. Viewers, if you got a different view on that, please let me know. But I think the umps, finally did the right thing and made the right call. So, and then it was a Braves game, I think, last week where they took him like 3 seconds. Well, actually, I should say took him 3 seconds. The runner was on the base for like 2 seconds, and then they tagged him, and then the umps called him safe. So, and then they reviewed it, and they still called him safe. So, on that hand, what do you say, Chris? I mean,
I think he was. Well, looking at the picture, it didn't look like he was touched. Like his foot wasn't touched or any part of his leg.
Yeah, so he was safe.
So that part was safe. Just looking at the image,
Yeah.
What
No, I agree. I think You definitely had I'll make the wrong call on that end of the spectrum because yeah, he was out or safe. I mean, he was safe by a mile, as they would say. Um, but
Safe.
so anyway, so we got 6 games left in the season. Playoffs are already around the corner.
Yeah. The
Um,
season's going by quick.
yeah, it
Seems
typically
like.
does. We look at it and be like, oh my god, 162 games. How are we going to last? But they play every day, so it goes by quick. Before you know it, half the season's here, the All Star game, and then you know. But like I said in our Four Bros show last night or Monday night, or Friday night, this is the best time of the year to be a sports fan. You got baseball ending, you got basketball picking up, you got the start of the football season, you got hockey picking up, college football,
Yeah.
college basketball. So, if you're a sports fan, there's definitely this is the time of year, October into November. I mean, so but moving into the playoffs, Chris, who do you got going to the World Series out of the projected teams that are possibly in the race? So
Until proven otherwise, I'd have to go with the Dodgers. I
Dodgers for the NL.
mean,
How about the AL? Who do you got going in the AL? You got Houston, you got Chicago, you got not Texas, Tampa, and possibly the Red Sox, Yankees as of right now.
I'd have to go. I'm gonna have to go with the Astros.
Ooh, okay. So you got Astros, Dodgers. Okay. For me, I hate to pick the White Sox, but I think they're due. I'll say it right now. If the Mariners get in, I'm taking the Mariners to the World Series because they'll be the hottest team in baseball if they get in right now. So, but right now, I'll take the White Sox versus. It's going to be tough. It's going to be either you know what? I'll go out on a limb because everybody else is going to pick the Giants and the Dodgers.
Mhm.
I'm going to go the Brew Crew. I'm going to go Milwaukee. Milwaukee hasn't been there a while, so I'll go with the Southside Chicago White Sox. I'll go with the Milwaukee Brewers as my pick right now. So we'll go out on a limb on a couple of those.
It's fun to do that sometimes.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely
It may
fun.
be right, it may be wrong, but hey, I mean, you gotta go
Yeah,
on a
who
limb every now and then.
who who knows? I mean, what would I put dollars on that pick? No. Somebody wants to bet me $5. I'll take a $5 bet and turn it into 10 when the Brewers and White Sox both make it. So,
It's just a fun little what if. What if it could
oh
happen?
yeah, exactly. What if the Twins would have actually done something this year? So let me see if I can find some history lessons here. Sorry, kind of got thrown off with late minute cancellations here. So history and sports. So Chris, anything else you saw that we might have missed in MLB news?
I don't think so, no. Yeah.
Okay.
What about you?
Well, that's what I'm kind of looking up here to see if we have any today in baseball.
I'm sure there is some. I
Oh
mean,
yeah. So let's see here. In 1952, Chicago or St. Louis Cardinals outfielder Stan Mundlin, I know I pronounced that name wrong, makes his only major league pitching appearance, throwing one pitch to Chicago Cubs Frank. Okay, so one of those games, probably close to the end of the year, wanted to pitch a game. So uh, this date, 1955. Now think about it. We're just getting into playoff season here coming in October.
mhm.
1955. The first World Series color TV broadcast on NBC. Yankees beat the Dodgers. So in 1955, the World Series started in September. We're going to get the World Series at the end of October into November. So think
Wow.
about that.
That's like
So
pushed back.
about a month almost. Yeah. So 1960, Ted Williams hits his final home run 521 off of Jack Fisher. Let's see what else we got here. In 1974, California Angels. Now remember, Angels have moved back and forth. They used to be called California. Noah Ryan pitches his third no-hitter, beats my Twins 4-0. So, Oakland A's in 1975. Oakland A's Batty Blue, Glenn Abbott, Paul Lindban, and Raleigh Fingers no hits to California Angels 5-0. So on this day, in 2 separate years, the Angels were involved in 2 no hitters, 1 for and 1 against them.
Oh wow.
Yeah, ironic, huh?
That is
Here's
ironic.
another one. So in 1984, as a matter of fact, I heard this one today on local talk radio for the Twins. So the Twins were up 10-0 in 1984 against the Cleveland Indians. They end up losing the game 11-10. Talk about kind of choking there a little bit. So, but give it up, Minnesota sports figuring out a way to lose. So, 1988, LA Dodgers Earl Hershiser breaks former Dodgers Don Drysdale's record by pitching 59 consecutive scoreless innings. That's a feat. 59 scoreless innings, that would take, today's pitchers are pitching roughly 5 to 6 innings a game. That would take them almost, somebody do the math quick, 59 divided by 6 innings? Let's round it up to 60 innings. So that would take them 10 starts to do that. And back then you're pitching 7, 8, 9 innings, let's say 8. So you're taking 6 starts to pull that off, 7 starts roughly. So
Yeah.
Times have changed. So
Oh yeah.
let's see here, looking at it. 1991, the dreaded New York Yankees set a record of 75 games without a complete game pitched. What can you say there? I mean, pitchers are different. I mean, 91, yeah, that's kind of weird because that's when pitchers went longer. So, 1992, the Oakland A's won the AL West title. So they're on the verge of, kind of on the verge. I don't think it's going to happen this year, but 1993, Dennis Martinez is the 7th pitcher to win 100 games for the AL and the NL. So, think about that. Winning 100 games in both leagues, kind of a feat. Definitely be a big feat now. So,
Yeah.
1995, this one kind of hits home to me a little bit because it involves my favorite player of all time. Dennis Martinez pitches, breaks Kirby Puckett's jaw in the 12-4 win in 1995, which turned out to be Puckett's last at bat. So, tough breaks for my guy there, but that's a big. Let's see, 1996, New York Yankee Jim Leyritz is the second catcher to wear a hockey mask. Okay, 1996, Roberto Alomar suspended 5 games for spitting at an umpire.
Yeah, that did you.
Yeah, I guess you. In 1997, we should all know this one. St. Louis Cardinals Mark McGwire hits his 58th home run of the 1997 World Series. 34 of them came with the Oakland A's. So he got traded, ended up with 58. Let's see here. 2003, the final game played at Philadelphia's Metro Park was Braves defeating Philly. Ironically, those two are playing a 3-game series this year to kind of decide who wins that title there. So 2008, the last game played at Shea Stadium before the demolished demolished. The game was between the New York Mets and the Florida Marlins. Marlins win 4-2. Now, it's a funny story about that one. I read a few years ago, actually probably about this time. that one guy attended both the last game of the Yankees, old Yankee Stadium,
Oh,
and
wow.
and the Met Stadium, and ended up catching a home run in both ballparks. So that's kind of ironic. So that was this year or in history of baseball on this date, I guess. So I've got a few minutes here. So Chris,
Yeah.
why don't we wrap it up? Give us a little take on what's going on rest of this week in Coast to Coast.
Coming up, we have Tuesday Night Mania. We're going to talk about a little AEW Impact and whatever else we can think about wrestling wise. Maybe briefly talk about, depending on the circumstance of the pay per view that happened over the weekend. Who knows what we're going to talk about? Just keep watching Coast to Coast. We got whatever on Wednesday tomorrow, and
The Bo and
You
Joe
know,
show.
Bo and Joe show, Sweep the League,
Yeah.
and a couple new shows coming. So
Yeah. No, let's
stay,
do
stay
content.
tuned. Yeah.
Yeah. So thanks for everybody, Justin, Frank, Christy, with your comments. Keep them coming. Keep checking us out. Also, you'll see me on Tuesday Night Mania here and at the top of the hour. We are going to talk a little AEW. We're going to talk a little Dark Side of the Ring episode with Canyon. We are going to have a special guest, a guy I know here in Minnesota he's a young lad, but he's got a hobby where he does customized wrestling figures. So far, he's only doing the local scene, so he's got some indie wrestlers from Minnesota here that he's done. He's going to show them off. So, well, with that being said, Chris, thank you for what you're doing behind the scenes. And again, check us out in about a half hour on Tuesday Night's Mania and the rest of the week. Wednesday shows, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday for morning tailgate. So,
Yeah.
with that being said, we'll check you all again next Tuesday. Talk some playoffs. Have a good day.